OK and the podcast serves as a vessel to bridge the gap between human isolation and connection. We are all going through something. However, what happens when we start sharing our stories? We will be able to connect, heal, and grow. Come with me and my guests on a journey that will uncover their OK and moment. I'm your host, Just Jess. Let's get started. Hey y'all, so this episode, it's a little heavy, but I just wanted to put this disclaimer out there. So we do talk about suicide. So if you know anybody or you yourself are having any type of thoughts, please contact National Suicide Prevention Hotline at 1-800-273-8255. Again, that number is 1-800-273-8255. Enjoy the show. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to this awesome podcast. Again, I'm your host, Just Jess. Let me tell y'all something. This week has been trying. I'm not even gonna lie. I really didn't want to record this week. I didn't want to record a month ago. When you think of a world without Kobe Bean Bryant, I don't even know what the fuck. Memorial was Monday. And I gotta tell you something. It hit differently. I mean, everyone has said that, but I think it's hit differently because we have actually seen this man grow up in front of us. And to play basketball as a young girl, to remember when he got drafted, to remember when he was playing at the Forum, to remember when the Staples Center was built, a piece of your childhood was lost in January. And then the beautiful service, but just to understand the magnitude and the depth as to which this man has touched so many different lives, I can't really comprehend and to process and see, like, around the corner, there's this big ass crane and it has his jersey on it. And I'm thinking like, oh shit, we just ran a championship. But no, it's because he's gone. He's gone. And all the things that were revealed, like his last text and the things that he invested in, the things that people didn't know about him that just started to scratch the surface, to think of Gigi, to think of the family that has been impacted and how they would have impacted the WNBA. Like, I just saw a clip of Shaq's daughter. Could you imagine if Gigi, Shaq's daughters, like Michael Jordan's nieces in the WNBA in the next 5, 10, 15 years? Like, it would have changed the face of the sport that I love. That's my random clip of today, because that shit was heavy. How did you feel about it?
I have had mixed feelings about it all. Mm-hmm. I was in Michigan. Okay. And Brandon texts me, mm-hmm. and he says, he either sends me a clip, or no, he says TMZ said that Kobe Bryant was just killed. And I said, wait, what?
Oh, so when it initially happened?
Like when it initially happened.
Yeah.
You know, I called my brother. He said, we're going to figure some things out. And then my sister-in-law texted me, and she said, it's real. Like, we're seeing it on CNN. We're seeing it on, like, legit. Because, you know, TMZ, we don't...
Right. Finicky.
We're finicky, fake newsy. We're not quite sure. Mm-hmm. But CNN, NBC, KTLA, they're not going to lie.
Right.
You know, they're going to make sure they have concrete, for sure, information. So seeing that, I remember just being in the airport, and I remember just breaking down crying. And I'm around like a bunch of people who are like Midwestern, probably like people who are not even into basketball. So what I ended up doing, or not what I ended up doing, but basically as far as the funeral and the celebration that happened, even though I've been working remote, I couldn't watch it live. So I recorded it, mm-hmm. and when I'm ready to watch it, like, I will. But it's just weird. Yeah. It's weird. And I know if this is how we feel, I can't, every time I start to get upset,
Yeah.
I just start thinking about Vanessa, and I start thinking about the rest of his kids and his siblings and his nieces and nephews and his closest friends and his parents, and just thinking about all the people who actually knew him. And I'm sitting over here, just can't even deal with watching a homegoing of him.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm just like, I mean, I already know how I process, deal with death, even as well as how I deal with death.
Yeah.
So I'm just kind of like, I'm barely trying to learn some small ounce of acceptance, just even a small ounce with my own family. So I'm like, no, I don't even have like the energy or the even capacity to even process his.
I think the part that gave me the most comfort was, even in his death, he was doing things that he loved, and that was with his kid and coaching basketball.
Yeah.
And it trips me out because if you are a Laker fan and you know the 405, you knew that Kobe traveled on helicopters for 20 some odd years.
Yeah.
Because that was the only way that he could get around to get to practice and be in the gym, the first and the last, and be able to get home. So it's mind-boggling, but I just wanted to start that. Rest in peace to Kobe, to Gigi, to everyone that was in the helicopter crash. And it's a lot of healing. It's going to be a lot of processing. It's going to be a lot of hurt. But I can only wish them the best when it comes to the journey of healing. So what I want to do, I have a very special guest today. And I know you heard her voice already. And I know I didn't introduce her because obviously I was trying to get the random out the way. Don't judge me. But I really, really am excited for this person to be here. And y'all, if anybody had an okay and moment, it is her. So do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
I always hate that question. But let me tell you why. Because I never know how much, and I never know how, there's always a in between where you're like, how do you say too much or not enough about who you are? And what do you say?
Okay.
So what I will say is that my name is Morgan Parker. I am from Fontana, California.
IE, baby. That's what's
right.
up.
Represent IE, the nine.
The
nine. I was born in Harbor City, to be honest. Harbor City, to be politically correct.
Oh, my.
Yes, but it's right next to Gardena, which is where we were living anyways. But I was raised in Fontana. And I attended Anawanda High School, and I went to Cal State Fullerton. I got my master's at University of Laverne. So I have done a lot of schooling.
Yeah.
And some of it was worth it in the long run, but not the financial run.
Mm-hmm.
Because I felt the government's always trying to find new ways to take money from us, but that's neither here or there. A little bit about myself. I am the baby, the youngest and the shortest in my family. I have several nieces and nephews.
Wait, back up. Why is that important to know?
Because that's true. People who don't know me, that's so true.
Like,
so I'm 6'2".
Ooh.
And my brothers, the middle child, he's 6'4", mm-hmm. and then my oldest brother is 6'8". Mm-hmm. My dad's 6'4". Got cousins who are 6'6", 6'2", 6'1". My mom's like 5'7", little short stuff. So that's why that's kind of like something, like physically attribute unique, okay. About me. And but yeah, I'm a family person. I love my family so much. I ride for them. I die for them. Not to sound like the movie Bad Boys. I swear that sounded really...
Which they did a really good job on Bad Boys 3. God, it was so good.
I loved that movie.
You know what? We should... I know we're going to go see Invisible Man, but we should really...
See it again?
Yeah.
I mean...
We should go... we should go see this shit again.
I mean, I'm down. I told you, my Saturday's pretty much open.
This is true. This is true.
Open. But, yeah, super family person, super, ride for my friends to the core. To the absolute core. And just on this journey, I've been on this journey Probably, I would say going on 2.5, 3 years. I'm telling you, things change when you turn 30. But I've been on this journey and I'm just trying to kind of like really live. And
so with that really live moment and the journey that you've been on for 3 years, August 2019, you picked me up from the airport and you're like, oh, I'm about to go to Costa Rica. And I was like, dope. You about to go to Costa Rica. Yeah. And the next thing I know, we having a little bit of a transition, which is crazy. So talk to us, like what happened in Costa Rica?
So in Costa Rica, it was me, two of... I'm trying to figure if I'm answering you or answering society when I'm answering this question.
It's totally up to you.
Okay. Because I don't want to say like two of my neos, or should I say sorority sisters? For politically correct.
I mean...
We'll do politically correct.
Okay.
It's me, two of my sorority sisters, and two of my fraternity brothers. Mm-hmm. And we like to call ourselves Fab Five. Represent because we fabulous.
Oh.
Fab Five. I made that up. Okay, trademark. What? Yes. And to be honest, they actually kind of were a little hesitant at the name. But I was like, come on, guys. There's 5 of us. We love each other. And they finally said, okay. So,
okay.
But anyways, we decided, like a year or so prior, we all want to go on a huge trip. We've all gone on our own separate trips. Like where it's like 2 of us, maybe 3 of us, maybe 4, maybe 1. But we were like, all 5 of us should go on a trip together. But we know we'd have a great time.
Yeah.
So we went on a trip. And, Costa Rica is it's beautiful. It's definitely beautiful. And it's very relaxing. They had a hammock. Love hammocks. Mm-hmm. But we stayed in the Airbnb and we there were times we went out, but we just kind of just like really chilled. And I tend to be considered more as an extrovert, but I have so many introvert tendencies that I think a lot of people don't know about, because I didn't really know about them. And I find them out when I go on trips, because I personally don't want to do nothing on trips. Mm-hmm. But I don't want to come across like I'm trying to be whack. So I'm like, all right, let's go do this. But I'm like, nah, I just want to sit here and do this shit. I want to do nothing because I just enjoy doing nothing or hearing noise. Just want to be kind of like solitude in a sense. Or I guess you could say isolate myself, which is quite negative to say. But
I don't think it
could be seen as negative, I should say.
I can see that.
Okay. So yeah, we're on a trip and we're having, fun, turn up, go to the stuff like that. And we went to a club and stuff. And mind you, here's the irony of this trip. One of my frat brothers, he ends up losing his debit card or credit card out there.
Okay.
So that's what happens like the day and night before of my transition. He loses his credit card. So shit gets real bad. Then the next day, so it rolls into the very next day. Then he tried to call, cancel it. Oh, that same night before where he lost his credit card, mm-hmm. I end up getting cut at the club, and I'm over here bleeding.
Wait, back up. Did someone like?
No one cut me. No one cut. Okay. So something happened, and somebody was like, I don't know if they got into a scuffle or they accidentally hit something, but someone in there, mm-hmm. like a glass dropped.
Okay.
And then glass shattered, or a cup dropped, and from the cup, glass shattered, and then, and I got cut.
Yeah.
So I'm over here trying to because it's on one of I guess my arteries. So I'm trying to make sure that I don't bleed out too much. And I'm over here
This sounds like a hangover trip.
It was a lot going on. I said, Travis over here lost his debit card. Someone stole from him. I was like, I'm getting cut. I was like, y'all, we need to go back to the Airbnb. This is it's not a good night. My knee was messing up. It was hurting because I was dancing too much.
Okay.
So I was getting it popping. And I was like, yeah, let's get it popping. I was like, but nah, we got to get out of here. So we go mm-hmm. back and we're up just chilling, talking.
Yeah.
So then Saturday, okay, August 3rd rolls around. And we wake up that morning. The first person I talked to on the phone is my sister, my big sister. And we have been playing phone tag because this is her first time leaving the country as well. And
where was she at?
I can't remember what island she was on, but she was on an island somewhere. Okay. And she was like, you know, we were doing not FaceApp. We were doing like, we were talking on WhatsApp. I'm sorry. Because I don't have an iPhone. Team Android all the way. Whoa. Anyways. Yeah. We were on WhatsApp doing video chatting. And she was like, sister, I'm having the time of my life. And I was like, girl, me too. She's like, you know, and we basically ended off the phone call. Ultimately, she's saying, be careful. Yeah. And I was like, of course, no problem. She's like, no, I'm serious. Be careful. I was like, oh, I am Deidre. I'm going to be careful. So then I get on the phone with her. And then I end up calling my mom. Mm-hmm. So I call my mom. And then I talk to my mom for a little bit. She kind of wants to see, you know, where I'm at. So I'm already going outside to the backyard anyways, where the pool and / it goes out to the beach. You would have loved it for sure. But because you're beachy and stuff.
I know you love it. I know you know that.
Yeah. So I went out there. I'm laying in the hammock. I'm just kind of showing her, and I was telling her, I was like, "Oh, my knee really hurts. You know, it's real swollen from the night before." She's like, "Oh, put some ice on there. Take something to try and keep the inflammation." I was like, "Okay." And then I was like, all right, Mom, I'm going to get off here. She goes, okay, have fun. I'll see you later. I was like, okay. Mm-hmm. So the only thing that my mom knew and my sister knew I was out there. She was like, have fun, whatever. My mom, and be careful. My mom knew I was in pain from my knee. And that's all I told her, because that's all that had happened at that moment. So I get off the phone with her, and then we're all like, oh, let's eat something real fast. So, you know, even though I'm on a trip, I'm trying to still eat healthy. Yeah. So I eat me a little salad.
Okay, what was in the salad, girl?
Salad, I had my chicken, I had my tomatoes.
Tomatoes.
It was some good stuff. Okay. You know, it was real good. It was, you know, it felt hearty.
Was it nutritious?
It felt that way. Okay. You know what I mean? Okay. But then I kind of had a shot or 2 or 3. Okay. You know, with breakfast, which was the salad. And then, I don't know if it was about 3 shots and then a mixed drink. And then everybody else wanted to go like to the beach, and I'm not a beach person. Mm-hmm. So I was like, I'm gonna kick in the pool, and y'all be chilling here when y'all get back. So I'm in the pool and I'm having some drinks by myself. So I may have had like 3 more drinks by myself. So we're at like 7, 8, whatever. Okay. Then Travis comes back, and Travis was like, oh, they want to. Oh, I was like, you guys coming back? He was like, no, we're gonna go sit out there. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, but before you go sit out there, you should have a drink with me. And he was like, okay. So we have a drink. Yeah. And I was like, come on, let's have another one. And he was like, okay. And so after a while, I kind of kept him over there. And then everybody else was coming back. And I kind of felt bad. Like I kept him from everyone, but they were all come back anyways. I was like, okay, cool.
So you had some company.
Yeah, had some company. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Okay. And then I went and had like another drink. So that was probably like 10, I think. 10 or 11. Yeah, because Leslie came, so I made Leslie drink with us once or twice. Okay. So it could be 11 drinks by now.
11 drinks, okay.
11 drinks, only had a salad. And I'm in the pool with Sun. So what happens is, and a lot of people don't know, a lot of people actually don't know this story, I should be honest, because I kind of just give the highlights. But we're in the pool, and we're doing different recordings. And I actually have a recording I made of myself. And I remember like looking at myself, thinking to myself, Lord, why didn't I think anything twice after I made this recording? Just dumb, but whatever. Excuse me. So I'm in the pool, and this floaty device they had in there was pissing me off the entire time we had been there. Because every time you get on the floaty device, you fucking fall off. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's not very, you're going to stick to it. I would try to get on there and fall off. So I got pissed off. It's a weird thing to get pissed off, but I did. Okay. So I get pissed off. So I'm so pissed off. I take it now as a fucking challenge that this floaty device thinks I'm not going to get over this shit.
So is you against the floaty?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's me against the floaty.
Okay.
So I'm in there. Everybody's been drinking, chilling. You know, Claudia in the background. Claudia is pertinent to the story. Because Claudia kept telling me, what do you, stop. Like, what are you doing? And I'm like, blocking her off. Like, it's cool, don't trip. She's like, I don't think you should do that. And I'm looking like, whatever, okay? Because JD, my frat brother, is laying down on the floaty device, and I try and like jump over. I dive over him once, so I'm already doing what I end up hurting myself. It's kind of like a foreshadowing. I did it once with him on it, but I was already in the pool doing it.
Okay.
Jumping over the floaty device in the pool, already doing it. And
are you jumping into the pool over him?
No, I'm already in. Like, imagine being in the pool,
okay,
and just trying to like throw your body over to go over someone
on the other side. Okay.
On the other side.
Okay.
So he's on the floaty device, and I'm just trying to dive over the floaty device because I'm trying to clear it without taking him out too. But I'm in the pool doing this.
Okay.
So I should have taken that as a sign because I had already came almost close to hitting myself. But again, things are not registering. Things are not clicking as they should for whatever reason. My brain is not working. But I ended up taking him out with me. I was like, oh man, I got mad. I was like, it's not even his fault. It's the damn fucking floaty. I was so mad at this floaty. And I just kept saying, I want to be a fucking dolphin. I want to be a dolphin. And they were all looking at me like, what do you mean you want to be a dolphin? And I'm looking like, I want to be a dolphin. I want to be a dolphin. Looking back, by the way, I'm 32 years old right now. There should be no reason why a goddamn 32 years old wants to be a dolphin. But
well, I mean, people got dreams, man.
Bruh.
People got dreams.
Stop it.
Okay, well,
I don't know. Okay.
I mean, there's sometimes I want to be a panda. No. And
oh, that's true. You do.
So.
That's true. Okay. I know, but you've always wanted to be a panda. I've never wanted to be anything but me.
That's true.
So what is to be a mammal? A dolphin?
This is different.
It's a little different.
It's a little different.
A little different. So what happens is, he gets out the floaty device, and I'm still... I hear someone saying, you got to get higher. And I was like, oh, okay. I don't know. Again, it's those moments where I don't process things when people are saying things. And I need to start doing that, again, quicker.
Yeah.
Because if I process things quicker, then I can respond and answer things accordingly or say no accordingly, whatever. So I hear someone saying, you got to get higher. You got to get higher. So I'm thinking, that's true. If I get higher, I can clear it. And I won't take the floaty... I'll be able to clearly jump over the floaty device, and the floaty device won't have been touched at all. Okay. So I'm still in the pool, but I go to the third step outside the pool, or semi outside the pool. There's always steps in pools. So I go to the third step, and I was like, I kind of like look at it, measure it, and I'm like, no, I'm not going to make it. Then I go to the second step, and I'm like, I kind of look at it, measure it, and I'm like, okay, I think I'm going to do it. And I keep hearing Claudia saying, I don't think I should do that. But I'm not listening to Claudia. That's what she tells me because I don't fucking remember. But she was telling me I was listening to her, which I believe that. So I go 1, 2, and I dive. Mind you, again, let's remind everyone here, I am 6'2".
Yeah.
I'm on the third step of the pool, diving into the shallow end of the pool. Because I wanted to be a fucking dolphin. So I dive over and immediately bust about 2-3 of my fingers. And I pop up like really fast. Like, oh, because my head, I just keep touching my head. And I just keep hearing everyone like run to me. And I'm just like, because not everyone was like in the pool at that time. It was just, I think Claudia, but she was way in the corner. And then the other 3 were out of the pool. And I pop up and like immediately I'm just like, because you're in the water, so you're feeling water on you, or so I thought. And I see JD run. He gets in the pool really fast and he's trying to just, he's yelling out to Travis and to Leslie, like, get water. And they're taking a little bit longer because it's just everyone's in shock. So he starts to use like pool water. And I didn't know what he was doing at first, you know what I'm saying? But I guess what happened was that it was blood, just all over my head, just gushing everywhere. And he was just trying to clear it out so I wouldn't freak out. And he was like, you okay? He's asking questions. And I was like, no, I'm like so much pain. And then they were like, oh, let's get you sitting down. And Travis, kind of semi-hops in the pool. He's like, let me pull you out. And I was like, no. Because I don't know a lot of things about, injuries. But one thing I do know, if you can walk after a head injury, it's better. Like, I feel like your likely chances are higher, I think. So I was like, no, let me walk. So I'm still holding my head and my neck and my chest at the same time with the other hands because there's so much pain. And I don't understand why. But I was just so much pain with my chest and my neck. And I remember holding my head and I sat down in a chair and you have, JD, at that time was being like Papa Bear. And then you have Claudia, my special over here being like Mama Bear. And then Leslie's like low-key kind of freaking out. Travis is like acting like he's like a doctor, but he's not a doctor. He's like asking me questions.
It's
like,
so crazy how people go into different modes.
Right, different roles. Okay, like it just he just starts channeling whoever they are. So Travis is like asking me questions, like, do you see my fingers? What do you see? And then like JD's like, Travis, it's too many questions at one time. Like, calm down. Travis, go do this. And so JD looks at me like, he says to me, this motherfucker think he a doctor. It's like, I said, bruh, I can't laugh. I said, please don't make me laugh. I'm in so much pain right now. And he was like, okay. So
that Grey's Anatomy done kicked in, man.
Like, I don't know. I guess it did. So then, mind you, as this is happening, some random person who's like walking along the Airbnb houses, but who's like selling like food and different foods and stuff, he's walking up and he's like, ceviche. Ooh, and like Leslie was like super, like Leslie, love her to death. She was super down for me, but she was just also freaking out. And for her way to process things, that she was figuring like sooner or later, we're all going to be hungry. So he was like, ceviche. She was like, cuantos. And like, so she's like, they're all looking at Leslie like, Leslie, what the fuck are you buying food for? Like, I don't understand. This is not the time to buy food right now, but
wow.
And my mom had her back, was like, yeah, she's trying to make sure you guys have something to eat. I was like, okay, Mom. So like Leslie's doing that. Travis trying to be a motherfucking doctor. Claudia and JD both trying to make sure I'm good. So Leslie and Claudia are the only ones who speak fluent Spanish. And so somebody asked them to go to because next door to our Airbnb happened to be like an inn. Mm-hmm. So we said, go to that inn/hotel and see if they have any first aid kit or whatever. Because I kept telling them, I don't want to go to the hospital out here. Like, I'm pretty sure I'm good. Let me just try and take some, like, because JD had 800 Motrin. I said, let me take some of that and then put an ice pack on. I was like, I'm good right now. I said, if I feel like I'm going to get any worse, let's go. I don't feel like it's that bad. And they're like, okay. So I'm sitting there and, trying to, like, still kind of have fun. But I don't know what the fuck I thought I was doing. But
at this point, like, the bleeding has stopped?
It took forever, but yes.
Okay, so the bleeding stopped and how is your neck? Like, are you still holding your neck? Like, describe that process.
I'm still holding. I have my left hand to hold the top of my head, where I actually hit like the actual bottom of the pool, and I have my right hand kind of like hugging my chest and my neck at the same time.
So almost like you're stabilizing.
Yeah, I'm trying to stabilize because I just feel a lot of pressure.
Okay. And
I don't know what to do, but to try to counter that pressure if I can, to try and find some level of comfort, even though you can't in that type of situation.
Yeah.
But yeah. And I just remember everybody just being like, if you ever go on a trip, you want to be on a trip with people that would do anything for you. Mm-hmm. Like anything. I forever in my life will trust these four for the rest of my life. Mm-hmm. These four people were they sprung into action, even if it took a little time, with food stuff, but they sprung into action and they just took care of me. Like, they helped me to get my clothes off. They bathed me. Because I felt like, I had just had pool water and I just wanted to try and get comfortable after everything. And, just like took care of me like I was like their actual sister on both sides. And you can't find that in people nowadays. You can't find that quality of people who are just like gonna just take care of you and you ain't gotta worry about nothing.
So how long were you, I guess my question is like, so you were in Costa Rica, you were out of the country.
Yeah.
So how long from being out of the country to coming back to the States did that take and what did that process look like?
Everything happened on Saturday. Our scheduled flight was already like Monday morning, literally like the first flight out.
So you stayed until Monday?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because there was no point, I didn't feel a point to change it because it probably would have cost an obscene amount of money. I didn't feel that I was that bad. And even Sunday, a lot of people don't know this. I actually did like a photo shoot. I don't know. I don't know how I did this. Okay. But I did a photo shoot, and I'm like in my cute little bathing suit, and everyone's like, we're all trying to take pictures together, individual shots, and yeah, it's nothing but God, nothing but God as to why I am alive and why I am able to walk right now. There's nothing but God, because who does a photo shoot the next day?
People that was turned up.
I wasn't turned up no more.
Turned up on energy. I mean, to do a photo shoot and to be in that excruciating pain. Were the pictures cute?
Yeah.
Okay.
They were. I mean, they really were cute, actually.
You got the shot.
I got the shot, okay? I really did. But I digress. Sorry. Okay. We fly out Monday morning. That Costa Rica time. And by the time we end up landing, we land ultimately like around 5 p.m.-ish Monday at LAX. Mm-hmm. And again, I'm thinking I'm good. I don't know why. I think I'm like Karen White, Superwoman, but I feel like I was. Mm-hmm. Because I was telling, Claudia and them, like, because Claudia was like, you sure you want me to take you to the doctor? I was like, no, don't worry about it. I'm going to just take myself to urgent care. It's probably something simple. Bada bing, bada boom. Even though I couldn't turn left or right. But I was still just, using my side mirrors. Yay the blind spot monitoring, woo woo. But I was using that to kind of navigate to go from LAX to Long Beach because I didn't want to drive all the way to Fontana. And Long Beach I had just lived in Long Beach not even months prior. Mm-hmm. And I've been living out there for 3 years. So obviously I was very comfortable with that city. So I drove from LAX to Long Beach. And
you drove yourself?
I drove myself.
Okay.
Like a dumbass. Drove myself.
Okay.
And but on my way there, I a lot of people don't know this either. I called Chris, and Chris is he was my first love, who also happens to be my frat brother, and me and him are not together and have not been together for years. However, he's always been there for me. At any drop of a hat, like no questions asked, it doesn't matter what it is. And I've always been there for him, same as thing, and that's just who we are. So, and it's hard for me to be vulnerable just around anybody. And he's seen me at my most vulnerable that anyone ever has. So I call him and I'm like, I need your help, and he ends up, and he had his Neo with him. He ended up meeting me at the hospital. But he came there, and then I called, I think I called Jasmine. Yeah, because I'm in Long Beach. Yes, I called Jasmine, and I said, hey, I'm not too far from you. Can you, kind of gave her, a highlight overview what happened to me, and asked if she was able to come to the hospital. Or I think I was just telling her, I think I was just telling her, hey, I'm out in your city, just so I have somebody that's, near. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because she didn't have to come, but she ended up coming to the hospital. That's what it was. So, so I'm in. So mind you, I skipped the part. I drove myself to urgent care. Chris and his Neo met me at urgent care. They couldn't do anything for me, urgent care, so they told me I had to go to the ER. But I was in so much pain by then after sitting and waiting to be seen.
Yeah. How long were you sitting?
Including the plane ride?
Yeah.
Shit. The plane ride itself already total was 7 hours.
So this happened Saturday. You fly out Monday. You drive to urgent care. They send you to the ER. Mm-hmm. So we're what, 72 hours in?
Yeah.
From
the initial impact.
Ground zero, pretty much?
Yeah, from zero.
Okay.
I go to the ER, and Chris stays with me until 3, 4 in the morning. He has to go to work. I tell him, go ahead. And Jasmine had already left by then too, but I was going to go to Jasmine's house afterwards. They finally released me Tuesday morning at 5 a.m. And they say something simple, they put me in a neck brace and they say, and they give me a prescription for some medication and say, you have this something simple, right? I'm like, oh, okay. So I go to Jasmine's house and I sleep.
What was something simple?
Like, I don't remember what it was. Like, they said it was something like a hairline fracture, or they say something where the way that they simplified it, it made me feel like it was like a sprain.
Okay.
That's what
a sprain where?
Like in my neck.
Okay.
They don't say anything else, but in my neck. So that's what it made me feel. I was like, oh, okay. Because they addressed the head issue and there was nothing wrong with the impact. That was going to heal over time. So I go to Jasmine's house and I'm laying down the neck brace and I'm waiting. Because I'm just tired. So I was sleeping for a few hours. And then I drive myself to CVS.
To pick up this prescription?
And then I was on the phone with my best friends and she was like, why are you driving? And I was just like, how else am I going to get this prescription? And I got to drive home. And she was like, on a neck brace? I was like, stop judging me. Mm-hmm. So then I get a phone call. It's a doctor's office and they say, is this Morgan Parker? And I'm like, yes. They said, hi, Dr. So-and-so is a specialist, but he wasn't at the ER at the time and he just saw your records and, can you come in? They didn't make it seem of any urgency, or maybe I didn't hear of any urgency. And so I said, okay. I said, I'm still in Long Beach. That's fine. I'll go. So I go to the office, again, driving myself to office. And I'm in there, neck brace on and everything. And I sit down and he goes to tell me, he finally comes in and he asks me, basic questions. You flew here? He goes, He's making
notes. Taking notes.
Yeah. He's taking his assessment, taking notes. And everything he's saying, it's always, There's no words right after. It's just, So again, I'm not thinking there's any severity of it. Long story short, he goes to tell me, after reviewing your records, the hospital gave you incorrect diagnosis. They never should have released you. I'm very sorry for that.
Damn.
You fractured your C5 and your C6 of your spinal cord. And you have to have emergency cervical spinal surgery. He goes, the mere fact that when you hit your head, you weren't instantly gone is like unheard of. He goes, the fact that you weren't instantly paralyzed or even paraplegic, that is what actually happens immediately in someone in your case. He goes, the severity of everything here is that if you cough too hard, if you sneeze too hard, you will be instantly paralyzed. So I'm sitting there.
What's running through your head?
All I just keep thinking is, what in the entire fuck? That's all I keep thinking. That's it. What in the entire fuck? Almost like he's bullshitting me right now. Like, this nigga bullshitting. Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
This nigga lying. He's just trying to be extra, trying to get his fucking money and shit. And all I could think to myself was like, wait, what's in the entire fuck? Like, I don't have any other words or even any other thoughts. It was what's in the entire fuck. Like, I walk hard. So we talking about sneezing or breathing or sneezing or coughing too, or like, wait, what? Sneezing. Lord Jesus, I sneeze and I feel like when I sneeze, it comes out in tongues. Okay?
When he's saying C5, C7, where on your spine is that? Is that upper, like where?
Oh, of your cervical spine.
Cervical spine. So.
In the neck.
In your neck.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So of your neck. And that in itself was like a whirlwind. So I have less than 24 hours to kind of get things squared away, trying to get things squared away with my job, EDD, because your girl needs to make sure she has her money.
Yeah.
I actually missed the most important part that I didn't tell nobody, or very few people know. I actually wasn't going to go to the hospital when I landed. I was actually going to wait at LAX, and I was going to catch a flight to Vegas for a conference I had.
That's right, because you were supposed to go to work the next week.
Mm-hmm. I had a conference for my business.
Yeah.
And I was going to go there. I had paid money well in advance and everything. And I was going to be in Vegas for a whole week for a conference. And this angel on earth, that's what I'll call him, angel on earth, Brandon, Mr. Young, he kept telling me, you need to go to the doctor. And I was like, no, you need to go to the doctor when you land. Like, I'm not playing. And I swear, I know looking back, it wasn't Brandon saying that. It had to be God. Because I'm a grown-ass woman. I don't have to listen to nobody. Like, nobody. You can hear what people were saying, but you don't have to listen to what they actually are doing. They're telling you to do. And with him, I listened. Like, it was like a command. So it had to be God speaking through him. And that's how I went to the hospital and everything else. However, to jump back to in the moment of hearing and everything, you know, just trying to get things squared away with my job and, you know, tell my media family, then tell my, you know, closest friends. And, you know, I don't really like mentioning things on social media, but that was the quickest way to let people know, like, I need prayers and what's happening. And I don't have time to call people individually. Like, you know, everything was just so surreal.
Yeah. So the doctor is telling you this and he's saying that you need emergency surgery. The time that he told you and the time that you got into surgery, what was the time?
He told me Tuesday. My surgery was Thursday morning.
How long was the surgery?
Like 5 hours.
5 hours. And what type of surgery did they perform?
So they cut me in the front of my neck, horizontal. So imagine if you have like fat rolls, you know, when you lean forward, you think that mark right there is a roll. It's not a roll on me, okay? It's a scar.
Wow.
The best way to visually.
Okay.
You know, yeah. The fat rolls.
You don't. Okay, I got you.
Okay. The scar, the incision on the back, that is vertical, and that ranges probably about, imagine a man size of a hand, like a really big man who has a really big hand, from their middle finger.
Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah, Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah.
From the middle finger, the tip of the middle finger, all the way to, what do you call this? Like the beginning of your wrist.
Yeah.
Yeah, the beginning of your wrist. Mm-hmm. That's how long that vertical cut was. And so they put in the front of my neck, they put in rods in the front, and in the back of my neck, they put in rods. So I have rods in my neck, in my spine that has fused together, that will be there. I did find out from someone else who's had similar, not the same, but similar surgery, that these things can break. Fun. So if they do, I'll have to go through this all over again. It's not something that's going to break easily.
Okay. Is it like with movement or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm very limited in the things I can do pretty much for the rest of my life, which sucks because I like being able to do whatever I want. But you know, I can't go on the roller coasters anymore. There's like a lot of things I just can't do. And live my life, you know, as, I don't want to say like in a bubble, but just be mindful of things. But because I have to be mindful of things, you know, it's not like, imagine you've never had any type of surgery at all. So all your bones are still all your bones.
Yeah.
Okay? And then imagine, so you feel like it sounds naive to say this, but you almost feel invincible, even though you know that technically you're not. But after having surgery and now there's a foreign object that's in your body that's going to keep you together, you know you're not invincible. You know that a foreign object can break easier than we individually, our own bones can break. So because this can break, I don't want to say I'm like petrified for the rest of my life, but I don't want to be a liar.
I mean, that's something that you got to think about, especially with not only hearing somebody's story of what they went through, but then knowing the different movements that you make can impact the surgery that you've had. So you had surgery, and now what happens after surgery?
I'm in the hospital, hospitalized for about a week. I got like four or five doctors. I got like multiple nurses. Hella nurses. If I was in there for like 5 or 6 days, I think I had like well over 10 nurses because everybody's, you know, moving in shifts.
Yeah.
One of my doctors said, out of he's had several patients, like myself, and I'm the first one that's ever been able to walk.
Jesus.
So he asked for a lock of my hair. And I said, well, I'm wearing a weave right now.
Okay.
So
you about to cut this braid?
So
what
you can cut this weave. It ain't my hair, but you know. And my homegirl who was there, she was like, but you bought it, so it's yours.
True.
I said, okay.
That's true.
But yeah, that happened. And just being in the hospital for a whole week, I literally had to learn the basics all over again. I mean, I from being in the hospital to even going home, it's a level of pain that is so hard to describe, because I don't think anyone, even their brain, can even like try to imagine. Like, you can't imagine a pain that you've never experienced. You can't. You could try. You can try so hard, but you can't really understand the amount of pain that someone like that is in. I mean, because it's your spine. So I had to learn how to, walk all over again. I had to learn how to like sit all over again. I mean, I couldn't bathe myself. My mother had to bathe me, and I'm 32 years old, and your mother having to bathe you. And I love my mom, but I mean, it's a very humbling experience, and just having to do the most simplest things that we just take for granted and that we just don't understand, just stripped away. And you need help as a grown ass motherfucker. You need help. I remember at one point I couldn't even like wipe my ass. And my cousin at one point, it's my favorite cousin, she came down and I was at the hospital and she wiped my ass for me because my mom, I think, was taking a nap or something. And she wiped my ass. I was like, listen, you already was my soulmate, but like, you was like, there is no words. When somebody can wipe your ass, okay? Jesus.
Yeah.
She wiped my ass. But yeah, just being in the hospital, I'm so thankful for just the people who've called and texted and came by, and shit is unreal.
So this happened August 2019.
Mm-hmm.
What was your estimated recovery time?
To be fully healed?
Yeah.
I won't be fully healed until August 2020.
So a year.
Yeah.
So where are you at? What is your progression to getting to being fully healed in 2020? August 2020.
What do you mean by progression?
Like, what are the necessary steps in order to get you back to 100%?
Therapy 7 days a week. I do twice in the facility. And the other days I do on my own.
Okay.
So it's an everyday process. I think the last 2 days I missed out because I was in so much pain. So I didn't do any therapy, but that sucks because, you kind of have to push yourself through, but I couldn't push. And so I just kind of said, fuck it. And I didn't do it. But the more I don't do it, the more it's going to take me forever to get healed. And then I went back to work, and I never should have went back to work. I never should have went back to work. If I regret anything, other than want to be a dolphin, other than wanting to be a dolphin, aside from that, I regret going back to work way too soon.
Going from surgery and then going to having family and friends, step up to the plate and take care of you, what's one thing you learned about yourself?
I don't know how to accept help.
Mm-hmm.
I'm stubborn as hell. I tend to isolate myself because this journey has a very roller coaster of emotions, and I don't feel like apologizing to people. So it's just easier if I isolate myself so I don't have to apologize for being a bitch to you. Because it's not your fault what the fuck I'm going through. So, but if you say the wrong thing or if I'm not in the mood to hear it or whatever, I'm liable to go off. It still happens, literally, to this day. Like, today's what, Friday?
Mm-hmm.
And I remember being just a bitch yesterday to my cousin and just anybody who fucking talks to me because I was in so much pain. I was in so much pain. And I was just sitting there and I was just frustrated because I'm just like, damn, like I'm not as bad. It's what, February now? So I'm not as bad as I was, August, September, October, November, December. But I'm just, the pain is still constant. It's still every day. Hell, I'm in pain right now talking. And I'm just tired of being in pain.
What keeps you going?
Well, in 2018, late 2018, I tried to commit suicide 3 times because I had a breakdown, I guess. Yeah, definitely. I lost it for sure at a job, and then it was confirmed. It was a stress breakdown because I was losing it. And because of that, I checked out of work and pretty much told my professor I was in my grad program. Was it 2018? Oh, that was a separate time. Jesus. But yes, 2018 for sure 2016 was stress. 2018, I tried to commit suicide. That's what it was. And after I kind of got through that and still working through that, I found a will to actually want to live. And because of that, I don't ever want to think of that anymore. And the only reason I found that was because I went to my business conference and it was nothing but God. I know it with every fiber in my being, with every ounce, with I know it in my heart and I know my mind. It was God literally speaking through those speakers. And you go to a business conference and you're expecting to hear, talk about business, how to grow your business, whatever the case may be. But he was talking to them and people were getting business help and I was getting life help. And it made me want to live. And I literally was just thanking God the entire time. So because of that, although I am in excruciating pain, and there are times where I just wish that God, not myself, but God would take me out because I don't want to be alive in this pain. I don't, because God had my back then and he still has my back now. So it's God that wakes me up every single day, that keeps me sane when I don't even feel sane, when I feel crazy. I feel crazy sometimes. It's God. It's definitely God.
It's crazy to think that within a short amount of time, you had life happen. And then to be able to go through something, multiple things, and still be able to talk about it. The healing is always going to be there. It's a never-ending battle. What's one word to describe yourself today?
Resilient.
Yeah.
Somebody told me that, and I was not in the best mindset to receive it.
Mm-hmm.
But looking back, I don't give myself enough credit for the things I've done or said or accomplished. And yeah, definitely resilient.
What do you want people to get out of your story?
You could be the smartest person in the world and you can still make mistakes. It doesn't mean that you're stupid, and it doesn't mean that you can't come back from it. And I say that because, you know, I was very angry for a long time because I felt like I'm really smart, like really, really smart. And I just felt so stupid. Like, I know looking back, I can laugh at it. No, not honestly, not really, not just yet.
Mm-hmm.
But other people can laugh at it because it's like I'm 32 years old. Who wants to be a dolphin? Like, that doesn't make any sense. I get back to that. It's just like, who wants to be a fucking dolphin? It doesn't make any sense. But I felt so stupid, you know, not realizing I'm already in the shallow end. Why am I diving into the shallow end? Like, that's so fucking stupid. So just having to realize that, you know, accidents happen even to the most smartest people. And just when you feel like you just don't want to be here anymore, like just kind of sit still for a second and listen to music if it helps you, because it helps me as well. But just sit there, and it's like in the most quietest like whisper or like the quietest moment, it's like you can either hear shit yourself, people from your past, people from your present, people from your future, God. It's, you literally can hear, I promise you hear, don't give up. You do. And I'm not saying, again, I was going to give up and kill myself, because I learned from that growth. But I wrote down in my journal, I said, Lord, I'm just in so much pain. I said, if I'm going to be in this type of pain for the rest of my life, just take me out now. I told my mama that. The person who gave me life, I told her that. And I feel like it just broke her. She didn't say it did, but when you can tell the person that helped create you, I mean, hell, it's probably how God was feeling when I wanted to do it anyways, but just know that in those quiet moments, you can just hear, don't give up. So I just hope that you listen to that, you hone in on it, and just take that with you, because shit, you're going to need it. So you can just get through it all. Every day. Every fucking day.
Well, I appreciate you coming on and sharing your story. Again, life is a journey, and the difference between the promise and the promised land is that process. And you have not only taken the process of healing, but the vulnerability, the transparency, it's going to help. It's definitely going to help. So thank y'all for listening to OK and the podcast. You can reach us at okandthepodcast@gmail.com. Email us your thoughts, your comments on this episode. Until next time, just make sure that, man, I'm trying to find us like a sign off. Be awesome to people, because you just never know what people are going through.